One lesson is that social media is a cost-free way to get through to your public. So if you're in a bureau that is not particularly well funded like ours is, it means I can't afford to go to TV stations, I can't afford to go to radio, I can't afford to advertise in the papers. And so I use social media in the knowledge that the traditional media get their news from social media these days. So that's a way for me to get my message across without necessarily having to pay millions of naira. But you know, being on social media requires a certain level of transparency and accountability. So as an example, I was the first to publicly defend our draft budget online and ask Nigerians to ask me any questions at all that they like about it. I was, I believe, the first appointee of government to publicly declare my assets and put that out in the public space. My bureau is the first in the country to have an electronic freedom of information portal through which people can just go and we will get the FOI request instantly, and we've been able to respond in 2 minutes instead of 7 days that the law asks for. So it takes a certain, like you said, it raises expectation, which you must be willing to meet. And naturally, as you know, social media is a reflection of our society. So you get those that look up to you, you get those that look down on you, and you get people that just dislike you for no reason. You need to be able to cope with that. You need to patiently explain. And you also need to show that you're human. And as a human being, I laugh, I get angry sometimes. Sometimes I ignore, sometimes I reply, but that's part of a carefully cultivated communication strategy to show that anybody can be DGB PSR. I'm one of you. I don't have two heads. I get angry just like you do. I laugh just like you do. I joke just like you do, but I take my work very, very seriously. That's the image that we've tried to cultivate. We're actually fixing a lot of things daily. But yes, there are a number of major constraints. Corruption is one of such constraints. And you know, unless you tackle corruption, it affects every single thing you do. You know, it affects the education system. And that's why people would pay money to lecturers or young girls who compromise themselves with lecturers. It's all corruption. You go to a healthcare facility, unless you know someone, you can't see a doctor on time or your file is missing. You go to NYSC to serve, somebody wants to influence postings. You go to an office, you know, there's procurement. So everywhere you look, you know, if you look at the bottom of, you even go to, you know, internally displaced persons and refugees, people are stealing their food. You know, in churches, people are stealing contributions, and you know, so it's a major problem that is holding us back. But like I said, we're beginning to tackle it. But we must tackle corruption not just with regards to people whom we can arrest and detain. It's also corruption starting from the family. You know, starting from getting a person to write WAEC and JAM for your child. Starting, you know, and then the child getting into university and joining a cult and all that. So all of those things we need to tackle from home. So corruption is a major problem that we have. The second major problem is our rate of population growth. Our population is growing faster than we can provide services and amenities. You know, as an example, more babies were born in Nigeria in 2015 than in the whole of the European Union put together. All the countries of the European Union, less babies were born than were born in Nigeria. And so you have this exploding population, which on the one hand can be an advantage, because if you look at most of the countries that have grown quickly over the last few years. They've had big populations, Brazil, India, Indonesia. So it's not always a bad thing, but you did ask me about the major challenges, and that is one of them, because if you're not, if you have 20 naira but 20 children, then you have to share the 20 naira among 20 children. So the population is a major issue. The third major issue is our level of productivity. Our level of productivity is very, very low. And people, if you juxtapose that with our population, people are under this erroneous impression that we're a rich country. We are not. Like I said, maybe if you had 20 naira with only one child, then you might be rich. But if you had 20 naira with 20 children, then you're poor, really. So we have low level of productivity because we've relied on oil over these years. We've abandoned agriculture, we've abandoned manufacturing, we've abandoned the service sector. So it is another major problem. So we need to do two things. We need to cut the cost of governance. The amount we spend on governance is too much relative to the number of citizens we have and the number of resources we have. While we're doing that, we need to raise our productivity and earn more wealth. So we need to make more money, because even if you cut and cut and cut, it won't be enough. So it's this twin track of reducing waste and unnecessary expenditure and growing wealth and growing the economy. That's what I think will give us a better society. Not at all at the moment. Not at all.
At the moment?
At the moment, because, you can never say never with life. But as we speak today, there are no plans in my mind whatsoever for any political positions. None at all. I support the Not Too Young to Run campaign. I encourage every young person to take active part in the governance of the country, not just in elective office, but also working in government, helping to hold government to account, working in NGOs. So I think it's vitally important that young people are actively involved in governance. It breaks my heart when on election day, rather than going out to vote, young people are playing football on the streets. And then they come on Twitter to complain about why this local government chairman has done this or hasn't done that. So I'll encourage young people to come into government, like I said, not only in elective positions, but also in other positions, so that they can start to use their ideas to influence how the country is run. There are very many countries where young people are in top leadership positions. We've got France, we've got Canada. There are very many where young people are coming through, but you don't come through just by sitting down and complaining on social media and talking about how bad everything is and how the old generation will not leave. Meanwhile, you won't go and vote. Simply cast your vote that a number of people actually lost their lives trying to make sure you got. So I think young people should grab that opportunity, put themselves out. Yes, you may fail a couple of times, you may not succeed, but if you keep going, I think eventually you get an opportunity to express your ideas. So they have my total support. Absolutely. And I think we will get better despite ourselves, just because of the talent we have, because of the resources we have. We have virtually every natural resource known to man. We have highly industrious people, highly intelligent people. We excel wherever we go, all over the world. And best of all, we have swagger. So yes, we will get better.
Welcome to First View Luxury Hotel. At First View Luxury Hotel, we offer excellent service. Our rooms have all the necessary facilities to make your stay comfortable and memorable. You will also have access to internet service, breakfast, 24-hour power supply, full air condition, free international calls, free tire pumping service, and free car battery charge. So what are you waiting for? Quickly visit First View Luxury Hotel. We are located at number 1 Adeline Obamishile off Raji Rasaki Road, First Estate, Amuwo, Odofin Festac, Lagos. For more information or reservation, please call us on 08075787135 or 08099900601. You can also take advantage of our online ongoing promo at www.firstviewhotel.com to make your reservation and payment for your favorite room, which attracts a discount rate. Please note, rooms are reserved based on first come, first serve. First View Luxury Hotel. Experience the home of comfort. They come.